In this changing world, BRICS is emerging as an economic and geopolitical alliance that cannot be ignored. From its inception, the forum has shown its ambition to challenge the dominance of the West, especially the United States, in the global order. But is BRICS strong enough to truly unseat the United States? BRICS, which stands for Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, was first formed in 2009. The alliance initially consisted of 4 large, fast-growing economies, namely Brazil, Russia, India, and China. In 2011, South Africa joined, changing the name from BRIC to BRICS. The initial aim was to strengthen economic, political, and social cooperation among the member countries. Now, more than a decade later, BRICS has grown into one of the most important organizations in the world. In 2024, 4 new countries were accepted as full members, namely Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran, and the United Arab Emirates. While in early 2025, Indonesia officially became a full member, adding to the long list of countries strengthening BRICS. This addition not only expands the geographical scope of BRICS, but also strengthens its influence in Asia, the Middle East, and Africa. At the BRICS summit, held in Kazan, Russia, in October 2024, the alliance made a big splash. A total of 13 countries were invited to become official partners. In December 2024, Russia confirmed that 9 countries accepted the invitation, such as Belarus, Bolivia, Cuba, Indonesia, Kazakhstan, Malaysia, Thailand, Uganda, and Uzbekistan. As of January 1st, 2025, these 9 countries are officially BRICS partners, except for Indonesia, which has already fully established itself. Meanwhile, Saudi Arabia, which was also invited to become a full member, did not give an answer until the end of 2024. On the other hand, Argentina, which initially expressed its intention to join, withdrew after the leadership of Javier Milei replaced President Alberto Fernandez. This expansion shows that BRICS is not only growing in Asia and Africa, but also starting to have a strong foothold in Latin America. With 18 members and partners, BRICS covers half the world's population. BRICS members also produce more than a third of the world's oil production and are major producers of food and important minerals such as nickel, copper, and iron ore. BRICS countries surpassed the share of G7 countries in total world GDP in terms of purchasing power parity in 2018. By 2024, the gap has widened even further, with the BRICS now accounting for a total of 35% of world GDP compared to 30% for the G7 countries. This fact reflects the shift in global economic power from the West to the South. Moreover, BRICS member countries have a long history of struggle against economic and political underdevelopment due to colonialism and domination of developed countries. Now, they are uniting to challenge the dominance of the G7 and the United States. China, the largest member of BRICS by economy, is a clear example of this rise. As the second-largest economy in the world, China has not only shown its strength in international trade, but also in technological innovation. Its ambitious Belt and Road Initiative (BRI) program has expanded China's influence into Asia, Africa, and Europe, creating global infrastructure connections that strengthen its position as the world's economic hub. Meanwhile, India, with the world's largest population, offers huge domestic market potential. The country continues to show rapid economic growth, supported by a strong information technology sector, growing industrialization, and heavy infrastructure investment. The combination of a vast domestic market and aggressive economic reform policies makes India one of the major powers in BRICS. Russia, despite being under pressure from Western sanctions due to geopolitical conflicts, remains one of the world's largest energy producers. With abundant natural gas and oil reserves, Russia plays a vital role in meeting global energy needs, especially for other BRICS countries. This position gives Russia great leverage in the alliance's cooperation. Equally important, Brazil and South Africa add to the geographical and strategic diversity of BRICS. Brazil, as the largest economy in Latin America, has rich natural resources and a strong agricultural base, making it a key player in global trade. On the other hand, South Africa, as the gateway to the African continent, brings a unique perspective on the challenges and opportunities facing the region, while strengthening the BRICS position in South-South economic relations. Since the end of World War II, the US dollar has played a central role in the global economy. As the world's main currency, the dollar became the backbone of international trade, including in oil transactions known as the petrodollar. This status gives America a tremendous advantage. With the dollar dominating, America enjoys low borrowing costs due to high global demand for its currency. In addition, the country has great influence over the world financial system, including the ability to impose economic sanctions on countries deemed to be against its interests. However, this order is beginning to face serious challenges. BRICS has launched an ambitious initiative to strengthen trade between members by using alternative currencies. The idea aims to reduce dependence on the dollar and give member countries greater flexibility in determining their economic policies without pressure from the West. If successful, this currency could revolutionize global trade, provide more options for developing countries, and challenge the dollar's monopoly in international transactions. However, this move has not gone unnoticed by the United States. The dollar's status as the world's premier currency is not only a symbol of American economic supremacy, but also a highly effective geopolitical tool. Any threat to the dollar's dominance is therefore considered a direct threat to America's position in the global order.
U.S. President-elect Donald Trump has warned BRICS member countries over attempts to undercut the U.S. dollar.
This was made clear when Donald Trump, during his campaign, warned that if the BRICS actually launched a new currency to challenge the dollar, they could face serious consequences. In fact, Trump proposed a 100% tariff on countries involved in the initiative. The role of BRICS is not just limited to economics. For its members, the alliance is also a geopolitical shield against Western pressure. Russia, for example, has utilized BRICS to expand ties with countries in Asia and Africa, especially amid the isolation imposed by Western countries due to the conflict in Ukraine. When Western sanctions cut off Russia's economic ties with Europe and America, BRICS became an entry point for Russia to stay connected to the global economy. China, in this context, plays an important role as Russia's main partner. Their bilateral ties are strengthened through energy trade and mutually beneficial strategic initiatives. On the other hand, India, despite geopolitical differences with China and Russia, supports the BRICS vision to counter Western dominance. New World Order. Despite still being the world's largest economy, the United States faces major challenges at home. Worsening economic inequality, with the richest 10% owning 90% of market shares, reflects structural weaknesses that could reduce its competitiveness on the global stage. Moreover, the world is changing. Dominance once thought to be unassailable is now being shaken by a wave of new powers. In the midst of this change, the United States looks like a giant that refuses to accept the fact that its power is no longer absolute. One clear example of America's struggle to maintain its supremacy is its unwavering support for Israel, despite often drawing sharp criticism from the international community. America's support for Israel is not just a form of strategic alliance. It is a long legacy of geopolitical policies that have shaped the post-World War II world order. In the Middle East, a region rich in energy resources and strategically positioned, Israel has long been the spearhead of U.S. influence. Through generous military, economic, and diplomatic support, the U.S. has ensured that it retains a strong foothold in a region that is often the arena of global conflict. But this endorsement is not just about geopolitics. It's also about symbolism, about who is in control of world order. For America and its allies, the relationship with Israel represents Western supremacy, a decades-old order in which America is the undisputed leader. But the world is no longer the same. Other countries are beginning to question this order. They are tired of the one-sided system and are looking for new ways to balance global power. In the midst of this change, blocs like BRICS emerged with a breath of fresh air. Countries such as China, Russia, India, Brazil, and South Africa began to initiate a multipolar world order, where no single country is completely dominant. For them, American dominance, including through its controversial policies in the Middle East, is a symbol of the past that should be abandoned. However, America seems to refuse to change. Its continued support for Israel, despite criticism of its human rights abuses and unending conflicts, shows how difficult it is for America to accept the new reality. On the one hand, they continue to claim to be the defenders of justice and democracy. On the other hand, they turn a blind eye to the suffering of the Palestinian people who are victims of Israeli policies. The world is watching, and more are beginning to view America as a power that is losing its relevance. In the midst of this sea change in the world order, BRICS has emerged as a new force that offers hope for a more just world. Although great challenges await, both from within the alliance and external pressures, the existence of BRICS is a strong signal that unilateral domination is no longer acceptable.